Hey there guys, it is your boy Roman, your favorite neighborhood Russian, and welcome to a brand new video. And here we are guys today, outside in beautiful Lisbon. I'm actually in a bit of a forest as you can see, and yes, there's the ambience. The birds are pretty loud today, I apologize for that. By the way guys, I'm now an official earthquake survivor. As you guys can see, natural disasters just keep following me. First, there was the Chelyabinsk meteor in 2013, which broke a couple windows in my house. Then we had a meteor fly over Spain and Portugal right after I moved here as well. And yesterday, as I'm recording this video, we had a 5.4 magnitude earthquake at 5 a.m. in Lisbon. I slept like a baby, I didn't notice it. I am aware of the great earthquake of Lisbon of 1755. And yes, guys, I do have to admit, I'm now scared of dying in an earthquake here in Lisbon, so guess I'll die, guys, what can I say? But at this point, guys, I feel like instead of that happening, it's more likely that I'm going to die of old age waiting for my documents. Because in today's video, guys, I want to, complain a little bit, just a little bit, not too much, about European bureaucracy. Because, well, guys, as you might know, I'm a recent immigrant here in Portugal. I moved here like 4 or 5 months ago. And I've gotten here to Portugal through a digital nomad visa, basically through my YouTube business. And so I've been here in Portugal for about 5 months. I've applied for my European residency a while back, and I am still waiting. I know there's probably already Portuguese people, Europeans in the comments saying that, haha, Roman finally got a taste of the actual European life, you know what I'm saying? Look guys, I understand that the world is kind of in a migrant crisis right now, right? There's a lot of refugees, immigrants from all over the world coming into many countries. And I realized that even European citizens are also having issues with stuff like residencies and so on. And everything is taking a long time. And especially the Portuguese people are going to say basically, well, what did you expect? Because Portugal, Southern Europe, it's known for its rather slow speed of life, everybody's sort of more relaxed and everything. But also, yes, I'm not completely oblivious. Of course, before coming here to Portugal, I was aware and I've heard that, certain governmental, bodies may operate rather slowly here, slower than when you compare it to, for example, well, Russia, you could say, actually. Russia has pretty quick and good access to a bunch of stuff. Like you have this Gosuslugi thing. It's a kind of a super app in which you can pay for your fines or book a visit to the doctor or whatever, or figure out other issues with your passport or residency. Yes, it's great, but the issue though is that app in Russia is about to start sending Russian people draft letters in the mail, and that is not really great. But yes, in this video, I don't even necessarily want to complain and badmouth Portugal or anything like that. It is just a little funny to me to talk about, sort of expectations versus reality from a point of view of a Russian immigrant here in Europe. Oh, and by the way, guys, I have a little announcement to make. The reason why I'm actually here outside recording like this is because now I'm going to have a second channel in which I'm going to be uploading videos about generally anything that interests me. Most of them are probably going to be shot like this outside in a forest or whatever. So I kind of just want to have it as another creative output and to talk to you guys tete-a-tete. So you heard him. Go subscribe to my second channel, which probably already has an exclusive video up. So let me really quickly explain my situation. So I moved here to Lisbon, Portugal around April of 2024. I applied for my residency essentially in the first days of May. And honestly, the only reason why I'm annoyed at this is because I essentially kind of can't really travel here in Europe since I don't have a EU travel document yet, and especially I cannot actually leave Europe right now, because if I would leave Europe right now, for example, if I would go to Georgia to visit my friends or whatever, right? Then what would happen is that if I return back to Europe, if I try to fly back, they're not going to let me in because I don't have an actual European ID card or anything. And my visa that's in my passport is technically already expired because it was only given for a certain period of time for me to move. And I'm kind of just now in a bit of this limbo in the middle of waiting for the residency. But my status here is completely legal. But as far as I understand, a lot of people in Portugal are in this sort of immigration limbo. Not only immigrants, but also even a lot of Portuguese people told me that they even sometimes have issues getting their own Portuguese passport as a citizen, that it takes, a lot of time or whatever. It is what it is. But essentially, guys, what is currently happening is that in Portugal, the immigration services are kind of having a little bit of a revamp, and the entire immigration department, right, is actually being reformed into a different one, and it's not going super well, supposedly. So previously, the Portuguese immigration was known as CEF, and now it's been changed to IMA, which is Agency for Immigration, Asylum, and something like that. And the whole point for them to restructure the entire thing was to make it quicker, to make it more efficient, but the issue is that for some reason, the government here is not hiring enough people, whatever. So look, I don't know what's going on, okay? I have zero idea. I don't even know what's going on in politics here yet. I just got here, okay? I'm like that Lil Uzi Vert video. I've only been for like 3 days out here, you know, get chill.
It's only my 3rd day out here. I don't know.
So essentially right now, if you try to look up any news regarding, you know, this immigration service in Portugal, what you see is that they're actually currently on strike because they're actually super overworked. They're working extra hours. There's not enough employees. Supposedly they have a backlog of like 400,000 applications waiting to be, you know, essentially checked out and reviewed, which is which is a lot, you know. And also the situation currently happening is basically described as a state of chaos. This is not even me making this up. This is like an actual article that I saw. Wait a second. It says here that the workers have a lot of discontent because, according to union leaders, IMA is in a state of chaos, and it's not even known how many workers it has exactly. Here it says, lack of special technical personnel, poor working conditions, workers being called to other functions suddenly and without training are the complaints, in addition to workers exceeding 150 hours of overtime that are not paid. So, and you guys gotta understand, I'm not making this to, you know, crap on the workers or anything. I can imagine what they're going through and how overbearing the amount of work they have to do is. And yes, crazy hours of overtime and crunch, you know, that is not great. And it clearly shows that there's some issue on more of a government side managing all this, right? Rather than the workers themselves. I'm not trying to put the blame on the workers in any way. But I do find it really funny, just that, you know, this is how my life works. That when I moved here, you know, the immigration service that was, you know, if you've Googled, you know, anything about Portugal and digital nomads or whatever moving to Portugal, you've probably seen people online or like Reddit or whatever talk about how Portuguese, you know, when it comes to these documents and, you know, these processes, Portugal can be rather slow, but it's just really funny that when I came here, it became even slower and there's like a bit of a, you know, unprecedented, chaotic situation happening and look, it's fine. I just think it's kind of funny. And once again, my really only big annoyance with this is that I'm really not the best position right now to travel. So this is actually why I don't really make a ton of travel videos nowadays. I'm kind of just grinding and waiting, you know what I mean? But you know, yes, it does get annoying to some degree because a lot of people create false expectations for you too when you move to a country. Because look, for example, I remember when I first came here, I met up with a Russian friend of mine who actually moved here earlier, so he's already lived like a year here at this point. And I met with some of his friends, like colleagues who are also Russian, who also moved here, like 1.5 years ago at this point, right? And I was talking to these people like right before I was about to apply for residency. And they were like, oh, come on, man, don't even worry about it. Yeah, you're probably gonna get your residency card in like 2 weeks, you know, probably a month or something like that. You know, that's what we did. That's what happened to us. And I was like, oh yeah, that sounds great. That sounds cool. You know, oh, I was told that Portugal was slow, but now, you know, looking at your guys' case and at your guys' example, apparently it's not, you know, it's all just been, I don't know, lies perpetrated by Spain or somebody. I don't know, who's Portugal's mortal enemy? Do you guys have one? I mean, Spain colonized Portugal, right? So, I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, they told me all this great stuff and I was excited to get my, to get my residency card in a month, which did not happen, obviously. Plus, you know, lawyers or whatever, they often give you a time estimate that is way earlier than when, you know, this stuff is actually going to happen. And also, I actually know somebody who also lived in Tbilisi, Georgia, also Russian, and they actually moved to Spain around similar time as me, and they got their residency in about a month. So, I mean, look, I enjoy Portugal. I like it. I love Portugal. So far, my time here has been great. I really enjoy, you know, being out here and everything. But when you hear those kind of things, you're like, what am I doing? Why did I do this to myself? Why did they get it in a fucking month? Whereas I'm, you know, waiting for 5 months and, you know, still nothing. Look, that's life. That's just life. So actually, though, when I complained about this, well, I actually talked about this on my social media too. And the thing is, supposedly, as far as I understand, this is an issue that, once again, is present in a lot of European countries at this point. Like, I got a lot of messages from people replying to me saying, oh, you know, I'm a European citizen and I was moving to like France and I also had to wait for like 8 months for my residency and so on. I got other anecdotes from other people telling me that, you know, they were waiting for like a year for a visa or for, you know, residency from this or that country in Europe. So yes, I guess this is an issue that happens to everybody. So I guess I just want to hear your stories, honestly, because this stuff is really interesting. You know, when you become an immigrant, you're really interested to hear other people's stories too. So if any of you guys out there had some experience moving to a European country, and if it was a rather lengthy experience, you know, then make sure to tell me about it. Write it down in the comments, and I'm really interested to learn about the fun times you've been having in the European Union. But yes, you know, I'm ready to be patient, you know. It is what it is. And really, once again, once I do get the residency, I'm really excited for obviously being able to travel around Europe and everything and make vlogs and make content, you know, Russian reviews, European capitals is going to be great. So, yeah. all I want to say in this video is that, dear workers at Portuguese immigration, I'm very, very sorry for being another immigrant that is adding up to your endless list of people you gotta, go through. I'm sorry that you guys are going through this, just being so insanely overworked. And I hope it gets better for the sake of all of us. That's really all I can say at this point. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video. I just kind of wanted to give you a little update on what is happening in my life and talk a bit about European bureaucracy and also to hear your stories too. So thank you guys once again so much for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy it, then please make sure to slap the like on it. And also, guys, once again, if you would like to support me additionally, and that is financially, then make sure to go over to the link down in the description and become a YouTube member. It is basically like YouTube's own version of Patreon. It is the best way to support me, or you can also do a super thanks underneath this video for a one-time donation. All right, thank you guys so much for watching it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.